All
Okay.
right, folks. Let us know if you can hear us now. Yeah, I think that one was from StreamYard.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Bro,
How did that happen?
echo cancellation.
Yeah.
No, we want that off.
Oh,
That
okay.
should be good. Yeah.
Nice keys.
Noise suppression. Okay. I think the issue was not. All right. So now I have to go back and turn off B1 on this side because I don't think that had anything to do with it. Turn that one off.
So that was a
All right, folks.
streaming at
Let us know. Boom, we're in there.
all right.
Sorry, folks. That one was on the side of what do they call this thing again?
Restream
Yeah.
was messing with our configuration, man.
Hey, man. You know, but look at us. We are here
We
back in
good.
this piece. Okay, dude. I should be a sound engineer at this point in time.
It's
man.
a good. It's a good for this video. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Hey, Crypto Warrior Stack Nation, welcome back to the show. Absolutely incredible.
Champions.
Look at that, man. Champion BK Crypto in the house as always. The gunner.
Yep.
Always there, man. We love
I'm not
it,
wearing.
sir.
I'm not wearing the t-shirt this morning, but I'll be back next
Well,
week.
You know, it's cool, man. We in there. BK Crypto always has the fire designs, man. Look at that. Champions. I actually want to show that says champions now.
BK Crypto, you heard that, man?
Yeah.
Champions.
Bitcoin. Is that you say Bitcoin Shango?
Shango.
Bitcoin Shango.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
Che. Shango.
Like Che. How do you
Yeah.
pronounce that
Shango.
to Che? That's no way near it. No way near it. All right. Well, let's get rolling here, man. Bitcoin Shango says, okay, we have sound now. We have sound. We have sound. We are
Boom.
in there, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we have a reaction video today. Okay, this one is a solid piece from Miss Natalie Brunel over at Swan Bitcoin.
Mhm.
All right, we thought this one was absolutely interesting. We'd like to share it with everyone to prove a point of something that is happening right now. Right,
Yep.
we are in this digital age where everything is changing. Right, and we know Bitcoin has been one of those things that has received the most attack in society today.
Coming from all angles, man.
Exactly, from all angles. This idea that Bitcoin is horrible for the environment. This idea that I think there was at some point they said Bitcoin mining was going to consume all the energy on Earth
Did you
by
know-
2024, was it, or 23?
A pastor told me it's the sign of the devil.
Jesus Christ, man! You know these people these days, they can take anything and make it a sign of the devil, man.
Hey, Afghanistan is saying abandon it because of their imam says that it's not good.
Well, the imam is not gonna make it, so they're not. Poverty will strike them forever. So, with no further ado, let's jump into this thing here.
Why you go?
I don't know, bro, because how do you argue against that? It is kind of difficult. So, here's the thing with a lot of people who refuse to at least acknowledge Bitcoin. It is difficult to argue with them because they're arguing from a place where they're not using any information. For example, if you look at Peter Schiff will hop on Twitter and just go on and on about Bitcoin is going to zero. There is no logic behind it. How will it make it to zero? Like, can you explain to me how you physically make it? But it gets the views, it gets the clicks.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm about to be on social media these days, just
saying crazy stuff
saying
to get the clicks.
Bitcoin is really Ethereum if you think about it, you know. Oh man,
Oh,
don't shoot me down,
jeez.
folks. Relax. It's all good. All right, well, let's check this video out and then get into it. All right.
Funny you said that though.
What's
That title is not much of a clickbait. You could have said Bitcoin is going to zero.
Hard money. Oh yeah, Bitcoin is going to zero. We should change the title on this thing. No, actually, better yet, guys, in the comments, please give us a clickbait title for our next video. Whatever the craziest one, we'll put it on the video, whether or not it's related or not. We're in there. All right, let's do this then.
This film, made in 1903, recalls the first flight of this primitive biplane making aviation history.
A mere 9 weeks before the Wright brothers successfully achieved flight, the nation's supreme publication, the New York Times, predicted it could take 10 million years for man to fly. In the 1960s and 70s, the paper published articles drawing concern about an impending ice age. And in 1995, New York Times Magazine quoted Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman, famously predicting that by 2005 or so, it will become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machines. At least in Krugman's case, he's been able to admit when he's wrong. The New York Times and other major publications have a track
Everybody's
record of
favorite.
rejecting
I
the
know.
promise of new and disruptive technologies. So it shouldn't come as a huge surprise that the Times got it wrong, at least for now, about Bitcoin, a civilization changing technology on par with discovering electricity and inventing the internet.
Being an enemy of a technology is a fairly dumb way to waste your time because you're not in charge of whether a technology is adopted at any meaningful scale.
Well, there it is. You have it there.
You got my reaction.
What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Man, I've been trying to figure out which angle to attack this. Be the enemy of the technology.
Well, take it from any angle.
Well, I would start from my experiences
Right.
running a business in Nigeria, right? If you don't believe it, I think it's time for you to start believing it now. Is that everything that you watch on mass media, on the TV, that you listen to on the radio, that you read on the newspaper? Who's still even reading the newspaper these days? Anyway, some people still do.
A physical one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Warren Buffett.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's paid for by somebody's agenda, right?
Right.
We would pay for newspaper articles, not on the actual newspaper, but the web versions, to push an agenda based on your own company, based on what you want to listen to. So when you watch CNN and you watch Fox News, it's not sometimes, majority of the time, what am I talking about sometimes?
Right.
Majority of the time, it's not the actual news. It's the news put together in an agenda. That's why they call it propaganda. In such a way to convince you otherwise. That is what mass media does. And I think the times are changing because now we're switching to that world where we can debate thought processes instead of somebody just pushing an agenda on you.
Absolutely. I agree with this. Mass media failing is what we actually tied to this one, right?
Yep.
And I think over the past couple of years, we have clearly seen this pattern where the media power is really coming back to the hands of the people. You guys can let me know in the comments if you agree with this or not. But based on my observation on things right now, it seems to me that most people do not subscribe to cable TV anymore. This is why we see, like, every time we talk about the numbers for CNN and Fox and all of these guys tanking,
Yep.
or the whole network being carried by one person that everyone watches. A lot of this is moving over to social media. So I think in that sense, social media is now decentralized, or at least media or information is now decentralized, right?
Yep.
Which means the big corporations potentially have less power on how they
change
draft
your mind.
draft the propaganda and influence people,
Yeah.
right? Which is absolutely incredible because we've seen it fail in this big Bitcoin case here, where they spent a ton of time for multiple years coming up to this, talking about Bitcoin is going to be so energy intensive, right? That it will essentially spell the end of everything as we know it.
Yep.
So this lack of credibility that we're seeing in the media now really puts us in a place where everyone has to be able to really do their own research and make the best and come up with the best decision that they can, right? And which is really unfortunate. However, I think that this shows us that we are in a point in time where when we talk about, back when I was in school, one of my favorite things that I heard was that you guys are the future leaders.
Yeah.
Right?
They called us the future leaders.
Exactly. So future leaders, we are here now, and
But they won't let us lead.
and they will not let us lead. So we have to just take control of the situation. However,
Man.
I think it's very unique that because we're the technology generation, right? And I think that's really up to us to like just take control of this whole thing and shape the direction in which we're trying to the future that we want to live, really. And I think for me, at least, that's a Bitcoin future. So what do you think of that? Let's look at some comments here, actually, before we go. It says, no big corporation has more power. The older big corporations don't the new big corporations do. I think this would be like the new big corporations would be like the tech field.
Yeah.
Right.
They are shifting the paradigm from
Yeah.
the big corporations to the small corporations.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
in a way, we're a small corporation in the social media space, kind of like what Tucker Carlson is doing, living Fox,
Yeah.
the bigger corporation. to build its own corporation on Twitter. But the only difference now is that you can actually debate its thought process.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not out there just, it might be out there trying to push its own agenda, but people can comment back and forth. You can get on the show and debate him on this topic.
This is true.
Which is what Elon does the best, though.
Elon does it the best. And and I think the direction in which Elon is going, it seems to me that he's running this whole massive experience. Now, I want you guys, the comments, to let me know what you think, because this is just my analysis of the situation.
Yep.
I guess you could look at it as more of a question slash, I guess, statement.
Statement, yep.
So, given everything that we know right now, and I think this is important to this, right? Because Jake Fever says there, we have Google, Twitter, Facebook, all of these guys, Amazon, who have the power right now, straightforwardly. So, we've also seen, based on what Elon is doing on Twitter, that we can switch up the governance of society to the people. Say, for example, if the president of the United States was coming onto Twitter Spaces to address people, and then the average person can ask questions, it seems like that is a better way to communicate with the people that you're serving, right? As well as a better way for the people as well to maintain a balance of power. Because when you look at people like Twitter and Facebook and all of these guys, they have way too much power to be able to really disable communication and things like that.
They're doing that right now on YouTube, shadow banning people,
right?
Facebook, Instagram, shut us down.
So in many ways, then you could look at it as these entities are actually I guess a form of governance, given the amount of power they have, right? So it seems like society can almost govern itself online right now.
I think society,
with having conversations with all these groups.
Society have always meant to govern itself.
Yeah,
it's just that for some reason over time we've concentrated power, or we've given power to so-called governments.
Yeah,
and then the way we elect them, actually, it's no longer us. It's corporations that do elect them and put them in power, and then they now make laws and regulations for those that put them in power and put you at the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah, this is true. This is the way it's always been.
It's the original pyramid scheme.
This is the way it's always been. Maybe I think that is also because of inefficiencies in communication. But right now, the whole world can get on Twitter at the same time and listen to the president speak.
That is why that was why there was so much 4 and 8 against Twitter, because that paradigm shift was occurring.
Exactly. Yeah. So PK Crypto says society is now the DAO. It really is, and it's going down on Twitter.
It is going down on Twitter. If you're watching us on Twitter right now.
But I think these are the things that I believe that our generation needs to be thinking about this. Because the legacy system of governance, we can clearly see that is broken. Anyone that is denying this, we can always discuss that. But we can see that it's broken. But how do we shift to this next, I guess, form of interacting with each other, this next form of engagement with society around us, with business, with
money,
if you will, right?
I think that's the biggest one, and people are still not seeing it, is that we're going away from money controlled by the very few to money that everybody controls, but for some reason they're not seeing it.
This is true, but I think that's also because the education levels, right, beforehand. PK Crypto is wow. This one says not broken, it's trash. Facts of life, man.
That's another t-shirt print.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's trash. Straight trash. Well, now you see how he comes up with all those great t-shirts, man. This guy's just dropping lines after lines. Incredible. Well, any other thoughts, sir, before we close this one out? I think this was an interesting one. You guys let us know in the comment. Did you find this interesting?
Yeah, I would like to say, just like that reaction video said, right? The airplane, they said it was going to cost 10 million years before human beings can fly. The motor vehicle, the combustion engine, the us boogie people fought against it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We had the internet, big time fight against it. You know?
The phone was a big time fight.
That was a big fight against that too, right?
Yeah.
And then the list goes on. And now we have Bitcoin, right? We're trying to make this as easy for people to understand, is that if you ask yourself, when was the last time you spent a paper currency? It's rare, because what we've now found out is that almost 90+% of the money in circulation is not paper money, it's digital money.
Right.
Right? It's paper numbers just being pushed on computers. Even worse is that when we switch to credit cards and then we start buying stuff on Amazon, those numbers do not really exist. We're living in a debt-based system. So this week, actually today, the president is going against the Republican over increasing the debt limit. Debt limits, who do we own the money?
Exactly.
To whom? It's just numbers being pushed, and this is creating money that does not really exist into the space, which is killing you and I's store of value, our money. It becomes worthless over time. And now we have the solution called Bitcoin that is supposed to help you give you back your store of value, your money. And people are still believing in all this fraud being printed out in the mass media. And I believe it's going to fail just like it failed on the other previous innovations.
I agree. Makes sense. Mr. B has a comment here, and I had to pull it up real quick. It says the pastor that said Bitcoin was of the devil most likely was referring to the Bible's book of Revelations 13 verses 16 to 17. So we went into church this morning, so you know I had to pull it up, bro. Yeah, I wasn't playing. This is the word of the Lord. You're supposed to say thanks be to God after this.
Thanks be to God.
According to Revelations 13, 16 to 17, all people, including those who are small, great, rich, poor, free, and slave, are forced to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead, which is the name of the beast on the this is what it's called, the mark of the beast. This is what it's talking about, which is the same name of the beast or the number of its names. I think this is where that whole ideology of 666 came from, is it not?
We're just talking about our subscription was at
damn, man. This man ripped it right out of the Bible, man. We're supposed to say this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God again.
Thanks be to God.
Yeah. Well, that was really cool. Yeah, I guess.
As a matter of fact,
Is that
if
where
you,
that came from?
you know, if you have not liked and subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do it because we're currently at 666.
Yes. Oh, yes. This is true. We do have 66 subscribers on our channels right now. Please go and subscribe again so that that is stuck on YouTube. You know. Otherwise, man, I might have to go and subscribe myself so that we'll be away for a moment. What a time. Okay. These dinosaurs, definitely dinosaurs. Why does our money system destroy the earth? Makes no sense. This is true.
Kill ourselves.
Cutting trees, man. All the trees being cut down and things like that. Spelling police in the chat. It's spell paradigm shift.
Hey, man.
Hey, I can't really say anything because I'll be doing that all the time too, man. I'll be calling out some spellings and things like that. Well, I think that's all we have here, Double O. Anything else, sir?
Hey, man, we killed it today, man. Reaction videos are the best.
Absolutely. Always a good time. Always a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to our channel, Stack. We are also on Twitter, rather, StackFin. Facebook, StackFin as well. Instagram is a biatch. And of course, we are also on Spotify, Stack. Right? We also want to thank the Gentlemen of Crypto for letting us stream onto their channel every week. Always a good time. Subscribe to them as well. And until next time, it's been an incredible morning. Have a spectacular week. It says, for beginners, where can I get affected info on BTC? Beginner info on Bitcoin. You can go to bitcoin.org. That's always a great starting point. If you need information as far as like maybe someone to help describe how the environment works and things like that, Bitcoin education is free. You can hit us up. We'll just set up a Zoom meeting and walk you through everything. We do have other services, but this is more along the lines of configuring cold storage. What else do we have? Like the trading course, which we do sometimes.
We do trading classes.
I guess more like technical analysis, not really trading courses. We teach you how to reach out.
For beginners, it's a free
1
hour session.
Exactly. But Bitcoin education is free.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Hit us up. We're always glad to help with that.
We'll schedule time with you
and also check out bitcoin.org. Definitely a good starting point. Watch those documentaries there. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, overtime now. Okay, so we're gonna head out. Have a spectacular week. Stay blessed. And until next time, Brazen out.
Double O.
Why didn't you read verse 17? Oh, I'm gonna read verse 17 next time.